me start with something that's on our minds, all of our minds right now. Let's go Patriots, right? Let's go Patriots! Massachusetts has led the way for freedom and progress in this country. It's more than our history, it's who we are, it's our DNA. And that's why I'm so proud to be your governor. It's because of the people and the spirit that I see in this state. I see it everywhere I go, in schools, hospitals, at senior centers and food pantries. The people of Massachusetts are tough, smart, and we care about each other. And in this moment, who we are has never been more important. The reality is that these are really tough times. People are feeling it. Everything's more expensive. Groceries, a cup of coffee, the new coat or boots you want, the hot water heater that you need, sports fees for your kids, dinner out once in a while. It's all so much harder now. Fixing that and lowering costs should be the focus of every elected official in America. It's certainly mine. Washington's only making things worse. We have a president who throws temper tantrums like a 2-year-old. No disrespect to 2-year-olds. He's driving up costs and prices with tariffs. He's cutting trillions of dollars out of health care, and Congress can't seem to do anything. Meanwhile, our seniors have to worry about food and heat. Veterans worried about their services getting cut off. LGBT families worried about their kids being targeted or bullied at school. And let me say something about ICE. The Trump administration right now is sending masked agents by the thousands into cities and states across America. A woman is dead, others have been shot, innocent people detained, mothers and fathers ripped out of their cars with their young kids tugging at their sides. Here in Massachusetts, we saw a high school student on the way to volleyball practice arrested. A college student going home to Texas for Thanksgiving, deported to Honduras, a country she hasn't lived in since she was a little kid. Now we have parents, of course, afraid to send their kids to school or to go to church or to see a doctor. This isn't right. I was a prosecutor and attorney general, and I can tell you, none of this makes us safer. It doesn't need to be this way. It needs to stop. Enough is enough. People are feeling the fear and the heartache and the anguish. They see the chaos coming out of Washington every day. They're worried about their families, their job, their health care, their rights. But I have a message tonight. This is Massachusetts. We don't back down. We look out for each other. We stand for what we believe. And we will not change who we are ever. Let me show you how Massachusetts has shown up in this challenging time. Remember when the federal government tried to take away vaccines? We wrote a vaccine prescription for everyone, and we had insurance pay for it. So now in Massachusetts, if you want a vaccine, you'll get one for free. When they cut research and took away hope, blocking cures for cancer, diabetes, and Alzheimer's, I said, no, we're going to put more dollars into science and research. People across the world have been saved by Massachusetts science, and that won't stop. While the president is raising costs on everything with tariffs, we work together with the legislature to cut taxes for middle-class families, make community college cost-free, and make school meals available to every child in the state. And we're focused every day on driving down costs for housing, for health care, for energy. When they took away abortion care, we stepped in and made sure that Planned Parenthood had the funding to keep going. And we passed the strongest protections in the country for patients and doctors and nurses who need that care. I'll never back down on your right to make your own health care decisions. When Donald Trump froze SNAP benefits, taking food away from children and seniors, boy, did Massachusetts show up. We raised $7 million for food pantries, People and businesses across the state stepped up to help. And I want you to know that this year, my budget's going to increase funding for local food banks. We're making sure that people on the SNAP program get the benefits that they need. We're not going to let anyone go hungry in Massachusetts. That's what we did, because that's who we are. 250 years ago, we started a revolution. Today, while some turn their backs on liberty, Massachusetts stays free. In the face of efforts to divide us, Massachusetts stands united. And because we stay true to who we are, I can tell you tonight that the state of the Commonwealth is strong. And in this moment, part of my job as governor is to help us provide what the federal government isn't: stability, security, and how about a little common sense? Tonight, I want to share with you our next steps on our affordability agenda. It starts with housing. We're going to build more and build faster. Here's how we're going to do it. This year, we've been speeding things up already. You know, it used to take a year, over a year, to get an environmental approval for a housing project. We took that down to 30 days. We've got hundreds of acres of state property with abandoned or not used courthouses, hospitals, state offices, right? So we're going to take that land and turn it into homes. Since COVID, remote work is happening, and cities have empty office space downtown. So we're turning them into apartments. And you want to know one of the quickest ways we're bringing homes online? Think about your garage, or if you got a little room out in your backyard. We've now given you the right to go out and build a place for your parent, or maybe your kid who just graduated. They're called accessory dwelling units, ADUs. In a matter of weeks, you'll be able to go online, download your ADU design of choice, and we're even going to hook you up with a way to finance that construction at a low cost. How about that? For renters, we ban brokers' fees, saving thousands of dollars every time you move. We doubled the support we give seniors to help them with their housing costs. And for families, we all know that buying that first home is one of the toughest challenges you'll face. So we're doing more to help. Tonight, we're expanding a program that gives families $25,000 for a down payment on a home. Bills are way too high. People can't afford it. They're getting killed. They're getting crushed. I get that. I understand that. And I want you to know I am focused on that. Here's our plan. First of all, I'm going to oppose any big rate hike proposed by the utilities, okay? I filed an energy affordability bill, and that bill will get us more power, get costs down, and save ratepayers $13 billion. You see, our strategy, my strategy, is we need all of the above when it comes to energy. Wind, solar, hydro, gas, nuclear, whatever it takes to power our homes and our businesses and cut your costs. As we flip the switch on a hydroelectric line that right now is providing power to Massachusetts. It's coming from Canada, and it's going to provide 20% of the electricity needs in Massachusetts. It's also going to save us about $50 million. My legislation not only gets us more power, it gets it cheaper. Did you know that utilities aren't required to purchase power at the lowest price? It's crazy. So my bill changes that. It makes it so that utilities got to go out and purchase that energy at the lowest price. If it works for Wall Street, it damn well better work for ratepayers. We got to make that change. That's going to provide savings to ratepayers. Lower your bills. I've directed the utilities to justify every single line that's on your bill. Anything that's not helping you, we'll strike it. But I also know people need help now. It's January. We're heading into February and March, the coldest months of the year. So tonight, I'm announcing that in February and March, we'll cut your electric bills by 25% and your gas bills by 10%. Now I want to talk about health care. Last year, I was the first governor here to cap deductibles and copays. And then Donald Trump and the Republicans in Washington made premiums skyrocket and threatened people's coverage. Remember that debate over the last few months? So I'm proud of this legislature because years ago, we worked to make sure that people would be covered. So in the face of those threats, we, Massachusetts, were able to make the biggest commitment in the country to keep people's costs down and to keep them covered. 270,000 families. Starting this year, you won't need a prior authorization from any insurance company to get the care you need. No more paperwork, no more waiting. If your doctor says you need it, you're gonna get it. Next, we're gonna ban medical debt, nasty medical debt, from being reported to credit agencies. And finally, I'm directing leaders from across all key sectors to come together to form a healthcare affordability working group. Healthcare is broken in America, and we can't wait for Washington to act. We're the state with the best healthcare. We're going to be the state to figure it out and fix it for our people. Tonight, I'm proposing strict new requirements to protect our kids from the harms of social media, okay? Parental consent, age verification for all these platforms, and much more. We're going to require every company out there to take a hard look at this. We want to prevent social media companies from targeting our kids for profit. That's what's been going on all across this country. We got to change it here in Massachusetts. In July, our state suffered a terrible tragedy when the Gabriel House assisted living facility caught fire. We pray for all those lost and injured on that day. We don't want anything like that to ever happen again. So we will implement new protections at all assisted living facilities in our state. I want to thank Chief Bacon, the firefighters, the police, the EMS who responded that night and saved lives. I want to thank you and all the firefighters for what you do to keep us safe every day. As our nation faces new tests, Massachusetts will lead again as a place where everyone can be safe and have their rights protected, where if you work hard, you can afford to live. And people from around the world will look to us for learning, innovation, opportunity, and freedom. That's what we work for. That's what America needs at this moment. So once again, let it begin in Massachusetts. Let's kindle those sparks of patriotic fire. Let's light the beacon and show the way forward. God bless you. God bless the great Commonwealth of Massachusetts. And God bless the United States of America.